Hey everybody. Let's see, what am I gonna talk about? Okay, so I woke up this morning feeling like really good. Like really good. And lately I've been having like very vivid dreams. And I can't say lately. I have to say I usually have very vivid dreams. And in 2005, a tragic incident occurred in my life, and I stopped dreaming. I think I subconsciously and consciously told myself that I'm just not going to dream anymore because in '05 my ex passed away, and he passed away um, exactly the way I dreamt it, kind of. Like, he died in a motorcycle accident, and I had a dream that he was in a very bad motorcycle accident, but he survived it. It was a lot of recovery, but he survived it. And that dream was a reoccurring dream, and it happened like a year and a half before the actual accident occurred. And I don't know, I think because I dreamt it and I told him about it and then it like happened, I think that just made me be like, I don't want to dream anymore, because if I dream it and it comes true, I don't want something bad. I don't want to dream something terrible and it really does happen. And then it was more like after that I would have dreams, but they wouldn't be as vivid as they were before. And I think I was like suppressing that too. Like, I don't want it to be too real because it may come true, type of thing. Because I've had dreams in the past that have come true. Like, the beginnings may be different or the endings may be different, but it's like, it's the dream. Like, it's happening. I know that's weird. So I'm just going to get off that subject. So I woke up this morning feeling very good. Had a really good dream. And I don't know. I just felt really good. It was like a newfound confidence of some sort. And I made my bed, which I normally usually don't do until I get home and I'm, winding down. And then I did some housework, which I typically do when I come home. I'll start getting things together or whatever. But I don't know, like, I just felt really, really good. Like, I just had a burst of some type of motivation and inspiration, and I don't know, I just felt really, really, really fantastic. Like, it was in my voice, it was in the way I carried myself, it was in my pep in my step type of thing. And usually when I get to work, I'm just like humdrum because I've done what I needed to do at home for work at home. So I was just, I don't know, having a really good day. And I had 2 screenings that I was going to this evening, and I missed one by like 5 minutes. Can you believe they closed it? Like, 5 minutes? Come on, really? So anywho, I left there because I had like 3 hours to kill before the next one. So technically I had like 2.5 hours to kill before the next one. Maybe like 2 hours because you want to get there on time, considering they're closing it like 5 minutes after time you're supposed to be there. Normally they don't do that. But so I started walking towards one of my favorite happy hour spots, and I'm talking to my cousin on the phone, and we're like laughing and talking about wines and cars, and this car comes down the street and it has like this loud engine. And so I'm looking, and it's a nice car. I mean, it's not unusual to the area that I was in or the city that I live in. It's not unusual to see really nice cars. So it's not like you'll be like, ooh, and all, unless you've never seen a car like that. Like, you haven't seen it in a long time, or you've only saw it on television in like a movie or something. Like me, I'm more fascinated when I see like really old cars, like really, really old cars. that are made out of like real metal that will like mess your cars up if it hits it. Like old grandpa cars is what most people call it, but they're like classics, like T-Birds and things of that nature, like grease lightning type of cars. Like I get fascinated when I see those, and I get fascinated when I see motorcycles because I love motorcycles. So like a really luxury expensive automobile won't really trigger my attention, as opposed to something like what I just named, like gave examples of. So I'm talking to my cousin, but the engine was so loud, so I'm looking because the engine is like killing my ears, and the guy looks, and I'm like, I'm still talking to my cousin, I'm not really paying any attention, and people look at me all the time. I'm not like conceited in any way, shape, or form, but I always get looks from people, like either it's a dirty look or it's like a look like I just did, or a stare, and it's weird, and I never know what is behind that, and sometimes I can judge it and say something, and then other times I'm just like, I don't want to know what type of vulgar thing you're thinking or what's gonna come out your mouth, because people say things to me that's just like, really? Is this candy camera? Am I on some type of YouTube video thingy? Like, what is happening here? Because I know you didn't just say that out your mouth to me. Like, really? So I never know what people are looking at me for. It could be the hair, it's kind of crazy right now, or the way I dress, maybe I just don't look like I'm from this area. Like, I never know what it is, and sometimes I shouldn't feed into it to find out. Yeah. So anywho, I'm like continuing on about my business. I'm like 25-30 feet away from the little spot I typically go to get grab a bite to eat, get a drink or whatever, and I hear this engine beside me again, and my cousin's like, let me call you back, because she had another call come through, and I'm like, alright, and this engine is like still in my ear. So I finally look over, and it's the guy in the car. So I'm like, he's like, how you doing? I'm like, hey, how are you? Blase, blase. I'm not like typically a mean person. I'll be like, hey, unless I see that you're coming at me for something stupid or crazy, then I'll be like, no, I'm not going about my business. But so he stops the car, he like kills the engine or whatever, and we're talking, and he's like, I've seen you 3 times today. And I'm like, you've seen me 3 times today? Like, how you see me 3 times today? Where? Like, where you see me at? Like, no, really, no. So he's like, yeah, I have. I've seen you 3 times already. And I'm like, okay, where? Where have you seen me? Because I've only been here. Like, where have you seen me? So he starts naming like different streets, and I'm like, So he's like, but earlier I saw you on this street. And I'm like, dude, are you following me? And he was like, I was going to ask you the same thing, because I've seen you 3 times already in different places, and I'm in those places. And I'm like, yeah, but you're driving and I'm on foot, so it's no way I can be following you and you're driving around. So clearly you must be following me. And why are you following me? So he was like, I'm gonna pull over to the side so we can talk, blase, blase. But before he does that, and we're still talking, this guy rolls up on the car. He looks at him, he looks at me, he looks at him, and rolls up on the car. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And some people will like back off, like back away to see what's going on. But I'm standing right there like, what in the world is happening here? What is this? So the guy walks off, and he's looking back, still looking back, and he's looking at me, and he's looking at the guy, still looking at the guy, and I'm like, okay, that is really weird. And he was like, yeah, and I'm like, dude, what was that? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know either. And as we're talking about what just happened, another guy rolls up on him in the car, and I'm like, okay, one guy there's another guy, and then like more people are starting to stare, and I'm just like, what is going, do you know these people? And he's like, no. And I'm like, are you famous or something? Like, what is happening here? Like, this is like really odd. And he was like, okay, the first guy, his parents own a jewelers. He was telling me like, my parents own the jewelers that you frequent, and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay. And all these other people, So he was like, I'm gonna pull over to the side because I feel like I'm, blocking up traffic. And I was like, excuse me. I was like, all right, that's cool. So I walk like around the corner. He's parking, and he gets out and we're talking. He's a cool guy, and he's telling me like, he grew up in DC and blah 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 blah. And we're talking, and he's like, he's going out of town, and he's going to Jamaica, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, he was like, well, where are you headed? And I'm like, I'm going right there. Like, I'm just going there to have like a bite to eat and drink. He was like, oh, I used to love going to that place, and blah blah blah. I was like, I only go like for certain things, and that's it. And then after that, I have something else that I'm going to be doing. So we're talking, and we like exchange numbers or whatever. He seems like a real cool guy. Normally, if I meet someone, I'll like tell my friends about it, but this time I'm just going to keep quiet and just keep it to myself, because usually when I tell people about a particular person that I met and we hang out a couple times, they seem cool, they end up doing something like real dumb, real foul, real stupid, or they just start getting on my nerves, and it doesn't take much to get on my nerves. So I kind of don't want to jinx this, because I kind of want to see where it would go. He seems like he's a really cool guy. Much better than Mr. Highway, like I talked about in the other video. Like, dude, really? We're not even going to keep that back there. Just not even speak on it. So this guy seems pretty decent and pretty cool. So I'm going to see what happens. Just summer still, and I've not really done anything, and I haven't really gone anywhere. I've moved, and my money is really low, and I haven't been on a plane, and I haven't been at a beach, and it's just killing me. And I moved to a place that has the pool. Like, I'm going back to what I know. Like, no more hood stuff for me. Like, my old apartment was in the hood. Wasn't a bad hood, but it was hood things happening, and I just felt like I was gonna like really come up out of my skin, just like really like come out of myself. Like it frustrated me so much. So now I'm here, and it's quiet. It's reminds me of Virginia, and I'm not from there. I'm from DC all the way. Like, I'm a DC girl, Northeast all the way. But my first apartment was in Virginia, and it was really quiet. I had to get used to it. So here it's pretty quiet, except there is this thing that hums and hums and hums all night. Like, and it's loud, and as the night progresses, the noise gets louder. It progresses with the night. And I just can't, I don't know what to do about it. I've turned on a fan, I've turned on the TV, I've turned on the radio, and I'm like, why? I move away from neighbors that are like loud and obnoxious and rude and inconsiderate and uncouth. And I come here, and it's this noise, and I'm on the top floor, so I don't even know what it is. Like, it's super loud. It's not as loud I have a roommate now, and it's not as loud as it is in her room than it is in my room. Like, it's so loud. So I'm like, I'm trying to find some white noise, I don't know, music or sounds or something that can like neutralize that noise, because I don't sleep much, but when I do, I want to rest. I want to sleep. And usually when I do sleep, I go into REM like that. The REM cycle, it's just boom, like that. So it's disruptive if that thing is like doing that all night. And I mean all night. It doesn't stop at all. So I've been sleeping, but not like I want to. Like, it's like catnapping. But so yeah, like today was a good day. I woke up feeling good, and some good things happened today, and I met like a cool guy. I don't know what's gonna come of that, but I do know that I'm not gonna jinx it by talking to all my girls about it. So I'll see. Look, you can see what time it is. um so I'll see what plays on. So I think that's all that's really going on in my world. um it's nothing that exciting. My life is kind of boring. ah, no, it's not. It's not that boring. I just don't do as much as I would like to. But like right now I should be learning French. I should be studying my French. I should be studying my Spanish, but I'm not. I'm doing a video, which is on my to-do list, mind you. I did do a to-do list, and this is on it. So I'm kind of sticking to. I'm sorry. I'm trying to readjust myself. My legs are hurting. I'm trying to kind of stick to it, but at the same time, I don't think I really am. I don't know. I just feel like I could be doing so much more, and I'm just not where I want to be. And I'm trying to like kickstart my life. I don't know how to get it going. I don't know what avenues to take. Like, I feel like there is something I should be doing, but what? What is it? Like, most people have their careers planned out and their lives planned out, and they're doing everything according to that plan, and I'm just like, I feel stuck. Like, my job, I'm stuck. There's no growth, there's no nothing. I'm not going anywhere. There's no more money, and that's kind of sad. And then, like, socially, like, I'm stuck there because no money, no play, no socializing, and romance. Oh, boo! That category has always been like, suck. The guys around here are just like, what? Really? Where did you do that at? Who allowed you to act that way? Oh my God. And I'm crazy? Really? Then you know what? Let me be crazy. If that's a good way to send you bye-bye, then yes, let me be crazy then. And who says you run things? Like, what is this? I don't know what it is. So that's why with this guy, I'm just not going to jinx anything. I'm not going to tell anybody. He's under wraps. Keep it quiet. Shh. That's what it's going to be about. But in family, like, I don't know. I think we may get a little closer. Like, we've kind of been a little distant since my mom passed. So I try to, like, talk with my sisters and talk with my dad and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like I'm the outsider. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they reach out to each other, and then I have to reach out to them. And then, like, I tell myself, you know, like, well, I'm not going to call, and I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to do that. But they're my sisters. I can't not call them and not check on them. But I feel like it's one-sided. Like, they check on each other, and they go out with each other, and they do everything together, and then I hear about it later. Like, oops, was we supposed to tell her? Oops, we didn't invite her. Don't say nothing about it then. Like, it's, I don't know, it's kind of sad. Oh well. So, like, I moved away from them, and but I've always, like, lived away from my family, like, not too far but far enough. And usually my mom would check on me. Like, she had this 3-day rule, and I was just like, 3 days, you know, it's supposed to be 24 hours, but she had like a 3-day rule, and that's how we that I'll check in. But we talked every day. But like, if she didn't hear from me, and the next day she didn't hear from me, then she'll give it like a third day, and then she'll call and be like, where are you? What are you doing? But with my sisters, it's like, I hadn't talked to them in like a week or so. My sister called and was like, we haven't talked to you or seen you or nothing over the weekend, nothing. So where are you and what you doing? I'm like, oh, like now you worry because I'm way out here and now you worry. When I was like around the corner, you didn't think much. But I don't know, like they always look at me like I'm traveling and I'm always doing something, which I used to travel a lot, but I don't have any money now, so my traveling has been kind of cut. It kind of sucks. Usually I'm on a plane by now 2 or 3 times already, hit some beach down in Miami, and now I'm just like, I can't even drive to the beach right now. Like, I'm just broke and it sucks, and every time I try to kickstart it, nothing pans out. But it doesn't get me down. It only motivates me to figure something out. Like, everybody has a plan A, plan B, plan C. Well, I have planned all the alphabets, okay? Because my life can get kind of crazy, and I never know what's going to happen sometimes. So, hopefully in my next video, I have something exciting to tell you. Like, I finished putting everything away in my closet. So I moved and like everything is still in a bin or on the floor. Like, look at that. You see that mess? That's what's waiting for me. All that needs to go in the closet. At least I got the doors open so I can like hang stuff up. But I feel like, and I need like an assistant, but I can't afford to pay one. I don't like doing this type of stuff. It's so, I don't know, tedious. But I'm gonna do it, because who else is gonna do it? Anywho, I wish I had more exciting things to tell you, but right now it's been a good day and I'm just pretty mellow. Like, went to a movie, met a guy. Oh, I almost missed the train to come home. Like, I literally got on the second to the last train that would get me home. So if I did not like run and hop on that bus to get me to the train, oh my goodness, I would have had to stay at my parents' house with no clothes, and I would have had to like get up really, really early and then come all the way here, shower, change my clothes, and then make it back to work. That would have been a really long day. But thank God I got on that train. It was packed too, and I was tired, and my feet were kind of hurting a little bit. So, and then like this guy was like walking behind me, and I turned around and he like sped past me. So I'm just like, I don't like people walking behind me. Like, I don't like people behind me, period. It just freaks me out. Like, what you doing? Anywho, I'm just rambling right now, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and say goodnight. Bonsoir, buenas noches, arrivederci. Is that how you say that anyway? Cheers. I don't know. But I'm going to stop it and try to get some sleep because it's almost 3 o'clock. Or is it almost 2? I don't know. I guess time doesn't matter right now since I'm up. I had an energy drink, so I won't be going to bed anytime soon. Plus, I said I will be going to bed by 3, but it looks like it may be 4 because I haven't done much else on the to-do list. But this video, I'm bad. I'm such a procrastinator. My life is full of procrastination. It's like 50% procrastination. I would say like 30% action. Like, I'm acting on things. 10% motivation, and 10% inspiration. So I guess I'm inspired to motivate myself to actively procrastinate. Oh my God, I like the way I said that, which is so true. I inspire myself to motivate myself to actively procrastinate. See, because I'm doing it now. My waking up feeling good inspired this video. It motivated me to do things today. Not things that I've never done, but just do something for myself today. So I acted on things that I wrote down, like on my to-do list, and now I'm procrastinating. See? So I inspired myself, and I motivated myself to actively do something and then procrastinate. It all leads to procrastination in my world. Everything leads to procrastination. I don't know why. I don't know what that is. Oh well. I am going to actively put things in my closet so I can procrastinate later. Have a good night. Be safe. Deuces.